面白そうだな。
かかってきな。
What's up, dudes? Max here, back with another Dragon Ball FighterZ breakdown. Today focusing on the only female character that is in the roster at the moment, and it's Android 18. Again, as a reminder, this footage was taken from the Gamescom build of Dragon Ball FighterZ up at the Bandai Namco offices in NorCal. They gave us the opportunity to capture a bunch of stuff, and I wanted to do little breakdowns of all the characters, and it's also rendered in 4K, so if you want to see it looking as good as possible, bump it up to 2160p. Android 18 is definitely one of the other characters in the roster that is a bit more challenging to use at first glance. Like I said with many of the other characters, Piccolo's a bit of an exception. Most of them, you kind of just do stuff, and it just works. But with Android 18, she is specifically a setup character. She requires certain aspects for you to end combos short, quick, while not doing a ton of damage in a singular combo, but more setting up for the next one. There's only one other character in the game that's kind of like this, and it's Krillin, but we'll be talking about him in the next part. Android 18 is a normal-sized character but does not have a huge amount of reach on a lot of her normals. They're essentially kind of stubby, similar to Gohan, but also similar to Gohan, she does have specific buttons, which I believe, like the standing medium, that do have a lunging attack as they go forward, meaning that even though the limbs might be very stubby when it comes to attacking, they push forward a great deal, making them have a pretty decent amount of reach. These normals are the ones you want to go to in terms of punishing and kind of using in general. Some of the buttons are good, some of the crouching buttons are very short, but these lunging forward normal attacks are where you want to go. But this is the first part where Android 18 is a lot different than the other characters. Her combo potential is really weird. It was a bit difficult to find anything really specific with her in terms of a combo gimmick, like Piccolo able to grab the opponent from stretchy arms and then bring him back down to the ground. Outside of doing a teleport back attack, there really wasn't much to her that I could figure out in the really brief time we had with the characters. But that does make sense because the more you start looking at her other special moves, it is a lot more applicable to do not so damaging shorter combos instead of really long damaging combos like the other characters, because the whole point of Android 18 is to kind of mix you up and continue keeping pressure. She does have some interesting special moves. Her fireball attacks go at very unique angles, especially when jumping over the opposition. She shoots like directly down with her projectile attack. She also has a disc attack for her fireball forward with ki, and that's pretty damn good and moves really fast. And she's also got a protective barrier sphere that blocks from, if not absorbs, a lot of normal attacks. I didn't really get a chance to mess around with this one too much, but you did seem to absorb a bit more meter than you normally would if the opponent was hitting you while you had the sphere out. Now, the most interesting aspect of Android 18 is the fact that she is accompanied with Android 17, and much to the dismay of many players, Android 17 is most likely not going to be a playable character in the game unless they do something really cute with the final version, allowing you to swap the moveset over to 17 instead of 18, and 18 becomes the assist and 17 becomes the main character. In the game right now, Android 17 is the assist character that is a unique special move. When you execute the attack with the light, medium, or heavy buttons, Android 17 will come out and continue pressure at the end of all of your strings, and that's what's really good about this character. You end a combo string or a block string, and you're able to throw out Android 17 to continue the pressure, while 18 just jumps up and actually goes for some different part of the combo or tries to mix you up. It is very good once you get the hang of it and you know which attacks Android 17 does, because the attacks differ from the ground to the air, and that can be kind of hard to get used to, but once you see people actually getting good at it, it feels almost impossible to get out of pressure, because 17 is always right at the end of all these combo strings. You have to remember, Dragon Ball FighterZ does not have push block, which is a huge component of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and since this game is taking a lot from that, it is a much different thing when you have a character that continues pressure like this. You're gonna have to find ways to get out of all of it. She does have a couple of super attacks. Some characters in the game have 3 supers. I believe she only had 2. Her first level 1 is a teleport above, and she shoots down to the ground directly above the opponent. This tracks pretty well from what I was playing, but isn't amazing by any means. It goes kind of above their heads, but if they're moving or flying across the screen, it won't track that hard. But it's pretty good because it pushes them back down to the ground, allowing you to bring in the next character to do a super from the ground, so that's a very good thing that might make Android 18 a good team player. The level 3 is kind of a generic level 3, brings out Android 17, they both come together to throw a fireball. But the cool part is that if you have Krillin on the same team as Android 18 in one of the other slots, Krillin replaces 17 in the cinematic super, because of course she's gonna bring out her husbando if you're gonna do a big ass level 3. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool references, and the other one, which was a crazy thing that we were unable to figure out, was this. This is the EX version of the Android 17 assist. We had no idea what the heck this thing did, but apparently upon later discovery at trade shows and events, it's an anti-assist attack, meaning if someone else brings out an assist, it will actually trigger Android 17 sitting here in this pose to attack the opposition immediately with a giant blast. That's pretty awesome gameplay-wise because it makes your opponent think twice about when they can actually use assists, especially in moments where you think they really want to use an assist to get out of a situation. You can call Android 17 in the background for the cost of 1 bar, and he'll blast the crap out of you if you tag that assist button. That's all I got for Android 17 now. Very unique character amongst the roster. The last one is going to be Krillin, which is probably the most unique in terms of gameplay and style. But until then, I got one combo that took me a while to figure out for Android 18 that also brings in Android 17 during the combo as like an assist to extend it a little further. It's pretty difficult to find a way to use 17 to extend combos a bit, but this is just one very small, tiny way. Hopefully you dudes enjoy it, and I'll be back with the Krillin breakdown as soon as possible. Appreciate a thumbs up if you like these videos. My name is Max, and I'll see you next time.
大したことないんだね。もしもっと腕を上げることができたら、また相手になってやると言っておいてくれ。